I'm telling you, Dave Filoni cannot help himself. I mean, yes, this is Marrok the Anuba, but Dave has got to throw wolves in everything. In Rebels, in the Clone Wars, in Ahsoka. Let's talk about it. Hello there, my Jedi and Sith friends, my Mandalorians and Megalorians, and welcome back to another very exciting Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg, and today we just got a brand new trailer, a brand new TV spot for the Mandalorian and Grogu. It's part of IMAX's Coming Soon initiative, and the movie is now just 2 months away. Today is March 22nd as of the recording of this, and the movie drops on May 22nd, Memorial Day 2026, and the new TV spot with some brand new footage is titled Coming For Us. Now it should be noted, much of the new footage is from scenes we already know about, extended versions of those from the first couple of trailers, but there are a couple of shots we have to talk about. Some huge reveals, a new look at a character from the Clone Wars, making his live-action debut, and we have to talk about the canon stories that are about to be overwritten. It's gonna be a fun one, my friends, and if you've not done so already, please be sure to hit the big subscribe button down below, ring the bell for notifications, but no more jibber jabber, let's dive straight in. So the trailer opens with a new look at the lavish throne room of the Hutt twins, Jabba the Hutt's inseparable cousins, who in the Book of Boba Fett seemed very keen to take over his estate. They tried dethroning Boba himself, the daimyo of Tatooine, but once they left, describing Tatooine as a rock, they appear to be taking a different tactic. They know how much power and influence their late cousin had, and my theory is that they're going after Jabba's son, Rotta. Just because they're family, it doesn't mean the Hutts are on the same page, and I reckon they lure Din Djarin to Nal Hutta, and they force him to fight Rotta for the inheritance. But going back to the throne room, it's giving off Skeleton Crew vibes. It reminds me of when the crew found Tak Reynolds' treasure on Lanupa. Just a trove of golden relics from top to bottom. And by the way, in the background, did you spot the beaten up B2 battle droid? So in this moment, Din Djarin is not just having to face the Hutts, but be reminded of the kind of droid that killed his parents. And we did actually spot this in trailer number 2. But moving on, we find ourselves at the Remnant outpost on the ice planet. Is this Hoth? Could it be Ilum? The origin of Starkiller Base? Either way, we see 2 Remnant snowtroopers on patrol in the dark, seemingly after the New Republic Ranger who's infiltrated, and this is none other than Din Djarin himself, who is about to blow up an AT-AT, in a shot we've seen in most of the trailers. This is gonna look so cinematic in IMAX, and that really is the only way to watch this film. And by the way guys, I called Din Djarin a New Republic Ranger. Could you imagine if this movie was titled Ranger of the New Republic? A bit like the cancelled Cara Dune show. I understand the logic behind the title The Mandalorian and Grogu, but I'm still not the biggest fan of it. So next up, my friends, we have a bit of an extended sequence of the scene where Din Djarin is made helmetless by the Hutts, and he simply but frightfully says the word monsters. I think that's when the Hutts are going to warn him about what's coming. He's being forced to fight against all of the creatures from the Dedrick chessboard, originating in Star Wars A New Hope. We're going to see a Mantelian Savrip, an Ngok, a Strider, and it's just been revealed that he's going to be fighting a Monarch. But in addition to the Gladiator ring, he's also got to face a dragon snake. Again, a creature shown in the last trailer, but today we have a brand new angle of it, just a bit of extended footage. Now the trailer also gives us scenes of Din Djarin in a forest. I don't know if this is Nal Hutta or somewhere else, but he seems to be looking for Grogu. Is this happening at the same time where Grogu is alone, and he finds this mentor-like figure? I'm just trying to piece things together. But next up, my friends, the new TV spot takes us to Navarro. I believe this is at the very start of the movie, where it's been rumoured that Mando and Grogu have their house destroyed, the small settlement for Clan Mudhorn given to them by Grief Karga. And who exactly destroys it? Embo, who I think is working with the Hutts. And in the last trailer there was a wolf-like creature walking beside him, which many fans assumed must be his Clone Wars companion, Marrok. Not the Inquisitor, but the Anuba, a creature that was originally meant to be introduced in The Phantom Menace on Tatooine, but who Dave Filoni repurposed for the Clone Wars. One of them killed Jedi Master Evan Peel, and another one, Marrok, was Embo's companion. Well, now he's back, and here is a brand new look. The only problem with this is Marrok is supposed to be dead. According to Aftermath Empire's End, Marrok died before the Battle of Jakku, and it's not a rumour, that was stated by Embo himself. But we know they've retconned so much of that material for the comics, so of course they would do the same for live action. On-screen content takes precedence. And in case you're wondering if this is a new Anuba, a replacement after Marrok's death, his jawline seems to confirm it's the same wolf. According to Star Wars Bestiary Volume 1, Marrok was one of the only Anubas that lacked a prominent chin tusk, unless Embo preferred this type of Anuba and sought out a very similar type of wolf. But in this new frame he looks terrifying. The creature design team did an awesome job. But that's not the only retcon, my friends. Embo, still working during this time, contradicts several sources. Embo is meant to be retired at this point. Let me explain. So if we just go back a few years, during Andor Season 2, Embo joined his fellow bounty hunters IG-88, Kersantan, Dengar and Forlom to investigate a jailbreak on Calarasi 5, and he was working with the Empire during this time. The next time we hear about Embo is when he's a bounty hunter post-Battle of Endor, so close to the Mandalorian, but not quite. This is when he took on a job to collect a bounty placed on Lando Calrissian. Then we fast forward to 5 ABY, which is only a handful of years before Mando. Embo, along with Dengar and a Rhodium named Jita, were hired by Mercurial Swift in order to capture Yaz Imari, the niece of Suji, who also appears in the Clone Wars. The Black Sun Crime Syndicate had imposed a bounty on Imari's head. Embo decided to join Swift, partly because he wanted to clear his debts. After learning that Nima the Hutt had taken Yaz captive on Jakku, Embo and the other bounty hunters travelled to Nima's temple to pick her up, so he did have some run-ins with the Hutts. But after the Battle of Jakku, and after the signing of the Galactic Concordance, Embo received a full pardon from the New Republic with the help of Imari's friend, Sinjir Rath Velas, a former Imperial officer who'd become an advisor to Chancellor Mon Mothma. And once that happened, by the time of Mando Season 1, Embo retired, and he settled down on Felucia. So the movie needs to explain 3 things. Number 1, is Marrok really dead? Number 2, if Embo received a full pardon from the New Republic, why is he going after Din Djarin, one of their new rangers? Embo's not a good guy, so I guess it makes sense that from time to time he does switch sides. So it means that his employer, whether it's the Remnants or the Hutts, are paying him quite handsomely. And the third thing that needs to be addressed, or I guess decanonized, is his retirement. Did he try to settle down and then change his mind? Whatever happens though, he can't die, because as we know from the comics, he's still around later in the timeline during the sequel trilogy. As I say though, my friends, Lucasfilm always prioritizes the on-screen visual content. I wish there was more coherency and consistency, but at this point, continuity is all over the place. Dave Filoni does not care about canon, and in his own words, he sees it like jazz, even if they're recounting the same events. That is controversial and many fans don't like this, but that's what Dave's approach is. And for this movie, the only thing that matters in terms of Embo's backstory is in animation. His appearances in the Clone Wars and now Mando are the only stories that count. So that is the crux of the new footage, my friends. What did you think? What do you make of our new look at Marrok? This is so Dave Filoni coded. He loves his wolves.